So you're telling me I have to participate in a drag performance just to get an A? So some of you may disagree with what it is I'm about to say, but I truly believe that our education system is just an indoctrination system, basically set up to program us how they want us to think and how they want us to learn. So with that being said, and with so many parents actually looking right now to send their kids to a good institution, I'm talking about recent high school graduates, Texas Christian University is going to be offering a drag queen course for its students. Yes, Texas Christian University. So let me make this point. Just because something has the word Christian in the title does not necessarily mean that the organization itself is serving or following Jesus Christ. So you either believe all the Bible or you believe none of it. You either serve God or you serve the world. It's that simple. So what evil men do is they try to slide in a lie or something that's not of God, and then they try to make it sound all warm and fuzzy. This is why it's so important to know the truth of what the Word says, so you will not be led astray. This is also why it's important to train your kids up in the Lord, because most believers who actually begin to doubt their faith usually stray away from God once they leave home and enter these institutions or a college. So it's important to know where you are sending your child and also how you've equipped your child. So let's get a little into this Texas Christian course. So I did some research because I didn't want to come on here without doing any research, and what I learned was this is a course. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the information that I have found on this particular course that they're offering. Now I want you to listen closely because I want you to be able to see how they twist the words or spin it to make it sound acceptable, almost like what Satan did to Eve in the garden. But before I read this, let me say this. Sin is sin in God's eyes, whether it's lying, murder, adultery, homosexuality, or even stealing. Sin is sin. So when you get to the point where you are literally taking sin and trying to paint it with the it's okay kind of brush, you're not walking a fine line. What you're doing is you've crossed it. So according to the information that I was able to find, the university is going to be holding a queer art of drag course where students will actually be required to do a drag performance. Now the course will actually be held through the Women and Gender Studies Department. Just the world that we live in, the Women and Gender Studies Department. Since when do we need a department on the study of genders? Not until the last couple years, you know what I'm saying? And the class is actually going to be taught by a gentleman by the name of Dr. Nino Testa, who ironically has his own drag persona called Maria Van Klapp. Why am I not surprised? So according to TCU's website, their own website, drag is an art form with a rich history of challenging dominant norms and systems of oppression. Come on, y'all. Building queer community and cultivating experiences of queer joy in a hostile world. This is on their website. Now, does anybody have a problem with what I just read? You see how they minimize it by calling it an art form? While the website does note that drag has sometimes been deployed in service of violent ideologies, the website also adds that critical drag explores drag performance as an outlet for social critique and queer world making. I'm sorry, but I have to speak the truth here. Queer world making is doing nothing but glorifying the homosexual lifestyle, which God says is wrong. Just like every other sin I mentioned a little bit earlier. Should we teach a class maybe on murder or how to kill? There you go, wait a minute. How about a class on how to steal effectively or how to tell a lie? Are you getting my point? So now many of you watching are going to say, well, this guy's just hating on our queer community, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm going to be the first to tell you, I don't hate you. I love you, actually. It's the sin that I hate because Christ hates it. In my Bible, Jesus says, if you love me, obey me. Just to keep it simple. So if I'm promoting or intentionally participating in something that I know is associated with or is sinful, then I'm wrong. And as a parent, you parents out there, how can you in good faith send your child to an institution that would promote a class that you know teaches that the queer lifestyle is okay? The reason it's not okay, folks, is because the Bible speaks against it. It's not David speaking, it's the Bible speaking against it. God speaking against it. God is the one speaking against the homosexual lifestyle. So let me not get lost here. So in the syllabus, the students will have to actually participate in a live group performance number on the night of the Spectrum Drag Show. Now get this. If you want to get an A, you have to participate. Then they have to write a drag bibliography focusing on 8 to 10 different articles that talk about the people, the performers, the aesthetics, the movements, the politics, the political ideas, and the communities that inspire their drag persona. So what they're doing is they're kind of forcing you to create your own drag persona. I mean, like, how is this okay? And again, me being a God-fearing Christian man, I'm not okay with it, which is why I'm bringing light to it. And just to kind of finish this up, it continues in their syllabus saying that those who are enrolled in the course will also be assigned a 1-minute long lip sync performance in front of the class. This is the only way to get an A in the class. Are you kidding me? See, when you start minimizing sin, you are already on a slippery slope. We live in a culture today that has done everything in its power to emasculate our men. Just look at the media. You see, Satan was with God in the beginning. So he understands more than anybody the power that we as men hold as the heads of our homes. So whatever he can do to usurp that power is what he's going to do. So right now, we are in the month of June of 23, and a lot of parents just recently watched their kids graduate from high school and are now, if they haven't been doing it already, they're looking at colleges for their kids to go to. My advice to you is for you to look at the curriculum in detail and do your homework. Your kids' souls are on the line. And sadly, the majority of our universities do not follow Jesus Christ. Many of the professors at these universities are atheists or have atheist ideologies, and they teach from that perspective. I'm serious, folks. Statistics show that Christian kids who turn from Jesus usually do this during the time of that 4-year span when they're in college. And it's usually from being brainwashed to think what they've been taught all their life from mom and dad and their Sunday school teacher in the church is wrong. So pay attention to where you're sending your kids. As the Bible says, train your kids up in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. Watch where you send your kids this coming fall. Love you guys. Peace.